Okay, Craig, Metal Man Garage. Let's just get straight into this. I'm actually feeling a little better. I had a case of the shinglies, which I mentioned in my past video. If you want to check it out, just kind of winging it in the shop here in that last video. I do have all the parts to put this thing back together. The 71 Super Beetle, I nicknamed it Demon Beetle. I got everything, the old parts and new parts laid out on the table. And I'm going to go over that and diagnose the Death Wobble and Volkswagen Shimmy that I had in this thing. And you can see it now that I have it laid on the table, what parts are bad, which parts I'm going to replace. So we'll get into it. Then I also picked up a Hot Wheel haul from the Mart. And then I got a handful of vintage Hot Wheels, which I'll get into. So stick around. Let's get into it. I'll just go straight to the Beetle here. All right, 1971 Super Beetle up front. And it's all business in the back here. Now I've got it all laid out on the table. I like to do this anyway. Everything labeled, spread out before I get it back together. I am passenger side and driver side. I do have everything written down for this diagnosis. I got everything apart. Let's just start right here on the driver's side. Driver's side, the drum brakes were adjusted too tight, and I could barely spin them. And I think that was actually some of the problem on the Death Wobble. I got a video taking the driver's side McPherson struts out. That side had over-tightened brake pads. I could barely spin it. And it also had a spindle nut. The spindle nut right here. That goes on the end of the spindle. I'll just put it into that spindle right there. That adjusts for the front wheel, and that was way too tight. I'm surprised the bearing wasn't shot. That also could contribute to the Death Wobble. Let's see here. I thought the lower ball joint on the driver's side was bad, but it's not. It's actually pretty good shape, other than its dust jacket, so I'm going to keep that on the parts shelf. This is the old strut tower. These two pieces were in it. This, I believe, is a shim. And the bearings and bushings in here were pretty roached too. Got the new one from JBugs. All new parts from JBugs. This is the old cap for the spring that I actually put through the sandblast cabinet and repainted. The old strut housing. And then I've got the old shock here. Passenger side shock was done. Leaking everywhere. There's no return. So got new shocks for that. This is the new parts here. Grease seal, new bearings. These are the two cushion pads for the springs. Once I get those on. And I'm going to do videos of putting this back together. So if you guys want to keep checking on that. The adjustable strut housing from JBugs that was on back order. Finally got them. I do have short videos of this. And in my last video I did mention how this thing kind of works. So I do need to drop this Beetle and make that stance right. So that's why I got these. They finally showed up. This is the new shock that you have to have for the new strut housing. And it also comes with this piece that I took off the old. But the new one has inside threads, not outside threads. That new one to hold the shock does come in here, is included. Okay, lower ball joint was good on that side. Tie rod joint was bad. And track arm control bushings were dry and rotted. So you can see right here, these tie rods, here's the old ones. Dust jacket's okay on that one. Dust jacket's a little beat up on these old ones here. But the driver's side, shot. You see that. Dunsky. So new ones, all JBugs. New brake lines. I got the lower control arms redone, painted, new bushings pressed in. Got short videos of that. Sandblasted. These are the two washers for the tension bar. I added just a splash of white color on this sway bar that's going to go underneath the front here. Only I or a few others that go underneath will ever see it. This is the passenger spindle, painted up. This bracket I'm looking for, these are actually harder to find than it seems. Now you can see I've got the painted one here. The new bushings. I think that'll look good. A white, red, black combo. So I need to find another one of these or come up with something else. This all came, this is the brake calipers for the disc brake conversion. Brake calipers, check. This is a conversion kit. This came with it. And then the brake drums are down here, the disc. Right here. That's a pretty good diagram. Get you a service manual if you're working on one of these old German bubbles. 1971 through 73. This is what I'm working with. I got a 71 Super Beetle. These will be all the points that'll fail through here. Tie rods, all the bushings, control arms, and lower ball joints. It's all labeled here. Pretty good diagram. My wife's 74 Super Beetle is a little different. 74. Lower ball joint is in the lower control arm. 71 through 73, it's at the bottom of the McPherson strut. So pick up one of these. I got a couple of these. This one had a pretty good diagram in it. Then the passenger side, pretty much the same what I just went over there on the driver's side. All new, looking good. Now, I do have a list. The passenger side had some issues too. Passenger side had a bad strut tower mount bushing right here. You can see that. In fact, all of this came out of it. The other side only had these two pieces. Someone's been in here and just kind of wedged fix, I think, for this other shock. See, this shock's completely different on the passenger side, and it's still in good shape. And I think they had to wedge some washers in there. So that's a mess. This was all wrecked. So I got the new one. Bad lower ball joint right here. Here's a new lower ball joint. The old one, check this thing out. Now I did cut the dust jacket off of that thing, but you can see it. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. No bueno. So that's kind of where I've got a couple bad spots. Thank God I decided to go ahead and do this. I learned that on my wife's 74 Super Beetle. Just go ahead, if you're in there, all these little different spots that go bad can cause that shimmy. So if you're in there, just, if you can diagnose it right away and an obvious problem, fix it. But I just went through and did my wife's. And by the way, I just got some good information. We were on a waiting list for a Volkswagen Beetle restoration guy, and we took it up there, and he finished up the interior, finished the engine bay. I had done everything else, and now it's ready to pick up, and when the motor's ready, we'll take it back up to him. So hopefully I'll have Matilda back here and do a video of that 1974 Super Beetle of my wife's. That's where I'm at on this thing. I'm going to also do some videos getting this back in place. So let's just jump into this Hot Wheel grab real quick. All right, I'm going to start with the vintage ones just in case. Everyone's probably seen all the newer stuff I got right here. But my brother went to an Amish auction house, and they had a personal collection of Hot Wheels that would fill this garage 3 times over. So he went through, and they let him kind of just grab through the boxes. So I'm going to start with those. And it's a personal collection. A lot of these are vintage, 90s, early 2000s. So we're going to start with this green light. You can see the mold growing on it. You can see actually the mold growing on the tire here. 1965 Dodge Cornet 500. So I am going to open this one. Let's see if I can't get the mold off that tire. Get this thing cleaned up. I don't need it in a case, so I'm going to open this and actually put it in one of my clear cases. Get her cleaned up, man. Get her out of there. The next from that Amish auction haul. Now, I am going back to try to pick up a bunch more. They're going to do the second half of that auction here shortly. So maybe I can put that on camera. Look at this thing. Honda Monkey Z50. I believe this is 2015. Pretty sweet. Pretty excited to have that. I'm just going to keep that in the case. He said the first one he grabbed out of the box, the guy let him just grab a few, was Kit. Of course, if you're my age, you would know this TV show straight away. My favorite was when he fights Goliath or Car, the evil kit. This one's from 2015. Pretty cool. Oh, this one's pretty sweet. The old forklift. I believe this is from the 90s. Pretty sweet, pretty sweet. Yeah, 1995. I'm going to keep that one in the case too. I don't know. I've got a construction equipment loose too. I might take that out. Not sure. And then I got one of these. This is also from that auction house. Pretty sweet. Not sure what, 70 Pontiac Firebird. I believe this one is 2017. Pretty sweet. Might open that one too. Not sure. Then this one's pretty sweet. Look at that. Not sure what that is. On-card mystery Hot Wheel. Now it does give you a peek in this window here, and it kind of looks like a Beetle fender. I might open this one. I kind of like it like that too, though. Not sure. And then the crown jewel, a treasure hunt. That's my first treasure hunt because I don't hunt those things. But the guy let him grab 4 or 5, and this was one of them. Can't believe it. Gorgeous. I think I will leave this one in the package. Old school 57 Chevy treasure hunt race machine, looks like. And what year is this? 2010. So my first treasure hunt. And I didn't even find it. Digging on it. Alright, now we'll get into these here just real quick. I ended up getting 3 of these. Pretty sweet. It's a bonus bass laying low. I ended up getting 3 of these. One I'm going to give to my brother. One I'm going to open. One I'm going to hang in the shop. Then I picked up 2 of these. One I'm going to open. One I'm going to keep in the shop. It's a 59 Chevy Impala. Also that laying low series. These are all just in the big throw bin. And I got doubles of this, the Gulf delivery. If you guys seen my other videos, my grandfather had a service station after World War II, so I do get the Gulf deliveries. One I'm going to open, one keep in the case. The Ferrari 365 GTB4 Competizione. Digging that yellow. Again, I'm going to open one, put it in the case. Keep the other one in the shop on the rack. Digging this. Haven't seen this car. Not sure what this is. McPherson? Spell that. Looks pretty sporty though. I'm digging on it. One of my brother's stepkids, she likes the hypercars, so I got one of these for her. The other one, just gonna keep in the case. Alright, now I got some individuals. This one I think I have a double of. I just like that wood panel wagon look. I might put that in for the kids next year. I think I got this one already. Ah, beautiful stunner. Porsche Carrera 911. I love it in that smoky gray. Pretty sweet. Good grab. I'm always doing some of the Mustangs. I don't collect them all. I'm not a big fan of the newer body styles, but that one's pretty slick, pretty slick. Alright, these 2, I had to get the 69 Dodge Charger Daytona. I'll probably leave that one in there and just put it on my case. Never saw this Polestar TRX. Kind of looks like a Cybertruck. Digging on that. And I guess this is from the newest Batmobile. The newest Batman movie, which I gave up on those a long time ago. This looks like a garage-built Batmobile. Kind of a Mad Max look. I'm digging on it. Then I picked up the series here. The 70 Pontiac GTO Silver Series. That's a stunner. 65 Pontiac Bonneville, and then the 06 Pontiac GTO. And then the Pontiac 84 Pontiac Firebird. Those are pretty stunning. Love it. We'll keep those in there too. I don't think we'll open those. Grabbed. I'm always getting the GTs. GT40s. This is the white delivery. I love how Auto World does the facts down here, down the sides. Card arts always hold up. I got a couple of these of Gulf delivery too. Had to have that one. Didn't know they had this one out there. I got the one with the wagon wheels. Back to the Future 3. Second one's kind of hard to watch, but it does propel the story. This one's got the white walls, so pick that up. I need to get a double so I can open it and actually put it next to the other Back to the Future 3 I got in the case right behind me. Alright, a little longer than I thought, but these two right here, M2s, the 60 Volkswagen double cab truck, and then the 59 double cab truck. These are going up north to the Volkswagen Beetle guy. He has one of these. It looks about like this in his shop. And he's got a nice, sweet custom shop. And he does all Volkswagens. That's his niche. So I'm going to take these to him so he can put them in the shop. Hopefully he likes those. And then I picked up these for me. Got this one I'm going to end up taking out. Put it in the case behind me. Pretty nice. Then I picked up the Buick 87 Buick Regal Limited. That one's a stunner. I do have a row of Buicks and Monte Carlos that I will be taking this out at home. Putting it on the shelf. Yeah, stunner. Alright, that's quick morning there. I'm going to go ahead and jump in now that I got this diagnosis video out of the way. Start putting these McPherson struts back together and see if we can't get this thing put back together and on the ground. Take it for a spin. Okay, guys. That's all I got. Boy, you gotta always adjust this thing when it comes around. I got the Osmo Pocket 3. Not sure I'm happy with it yet, but so far it's working pretty good. That's all I got. This is Craig from Metal Man Garage. Checking out. You guys know what to do.